This is Akashvani. In the program Spotlight, now we bring you a discussion on government advisory on countering social media misinformation and deepfakes. The participants are Jiten, Kumar, Jain, cyber expert, and Anubha, Rohatgi, anchor.
The government on Tuesday issued an advisory to social media intermediaries to identify misinformation and deepfakes, directing them to remove any deepfake content reported by users within 36 hours or face action under the Indian laws. To discuss this issue in detail, I'm now joined by cyber expert Jiten Jain. Mr. Jain, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me here. Namaste.
Mr. Jain, a doctored video and an AI-generated picture of two Indian celebrities in the recent days has brought to the center stage the issue of deepfakes. Now, following these incidents and given the significant challenges posed by misinformation and deepfakes, the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology has issued an advisory. In fact, this is the second such advisory within the last 6 months, and it calls upon online platforms to take decisive actions against the spread of deepfakes. So, I'll begin with a very basic question, and that is, what is meant by deepfakes?
See, earlier in the previous decade or so, we have seen several morphed photographs or edited videos which came into being for various purposes, sometimes for political motivation, sometimes to abuse someone, harass someone, or to defame someone. But most of these pictures or videos, if you were to send to a forensic lab, they will be easily able to figure out whether the photo was morphed or real, whether the video was edited or real. Now, with the new emergence of artificial intelligence and machine learning, there is now a dangerous cocktail of both of them combined together to, create deep learning models where you can train a machine to understand, learn, and mimic the exact 100% matchable voice, facial features, and actions of anyone in the world. And for that, all you need is few photos and few of their videos. If you are able to get some high resolution photographs and video of a celebrity or any person, feed it in the machine in a deep learning model, then you can create this machine learning and artificial intelligence technology to create a machine generated photo or a video. It is called deepfake because it is a fake which is created by a deep learning model, and it cannot be easily detected even in a forensic lab. It is actually almost impossible to detect this unless and until you have some clue. I mean, in an ordinary case, they will just pass by like an original video or a photo.
Right. Now, worldwide, there have been instances where public figures have been the target of deepfake videos. In fact, while public figures are more vulnerable to digitally altered content, unfortunately, what we find is that the internet is filled with such doctored images and pictures which often target women especially. In fact, Union Minister for Electronics and IT, Rajiv Chandrasekhar, also said that deepfakes are a major violation and harm women in particular. Now, for a lay person who is not very tech savvy, how can one spot a deepfake? Although you just now said that it's almost impossible to do so. But are there certain ways in which a layperson can, spot or at least be aware of how to, that image that he or she is seeing is a deepfake?
No, till a couple of years ago, several of the deepfake generators were using this, they were trying to imprint and impose one face on another and checking the frequency of eye movements or the color of skin, you might have been able to spot a deepfake. But today, they're all using generative models like GAN and all. So, I mean, for an ordinary person who is watching a video online, it is almost next to impossible to spot whether it is a fake or a real one. One cannot classify. Even in a forensic lab, it's almost very difficult to figure out whether a video which is being run is a deepfake video or a real one. Now, as far as women are concerned, I think we have across the world, not only in India, we have seen deepfake porn videos which have been created for almost all women celebrities across the world. This is becoming an emerging problem, causes reputation harm, it causes mental distress, it violates reputation of a woman. And there are no comprehensive laws to deal with this content. So unless and until a website or someone is explicitly calling a video a deepfake or labeling it as a deepfake, for our ordinary users, it is just next to impossible to figure it out. And this deepfake porn has now become a multi-billion-dollar industry across the world. We have seen this case of two celebrities, but if you go on internet, you will find hundreds and thousands of such videos of Indian celebrities, which are not even to be spoken in the public platform. But it is a worrying sign of this dangerous use of technology and in an unregulated environment.
We'll come to the laws regarding, the deepfake and other IT products. But coming to the government advisory, it uses two words at the beginning. That's misinformation and deepfakes. Now, is there a distinction between the two? And if so, can you give us some examples?
I mean, see, there are no existing laws to deal with this problem. So, a person or a victim has got three remedies. A, they can go and file a police complaint under existing Indian Penal Code for violating dignity of a woman or publishing porn or obscene material. Suppose that if the video is like something which falls into that category. Now there is second route, because it is a fake video which has been created without your consent. You can also call it misinformation or disinformation. In that category, I think under IT rules, these platforms are supposed to take down such content after they're notified within 36 hours. So this is the rule under which IT ministry is saying that these platforms are supposed to take down disinformation in 36 hours, and deepfake video is also a disinformation. So they are supposed to take it down. But that does not mean that these platforms are bound to remove every single deepfake videos because there may be a question of consent involved. Suppose a political celebrity makes a deepfake video in different languages for his political campaign, and that is done with his consent, then they're not duty bound to remove. So this is the use of technology for genuine purposes. There are media outlets across the world. I mean, like in India Today group, in India, if you see the TV every day, they are using a machine-generated anchor, an AI-based anchor to give weather bulletins. So there are genuine uses also. But so far as the deepfake videos are generated without the consent of the original person, I think then they fall into the category of disinformation and they can be removed by these platforms.
So, like you said, that it's almost impossible because of the advancement in technology and the use of AI, it's almost impossible to make out if it's a deepfake video. But that means the onus completely, as per the advisory of the government, the onus completely shifts to the social media intermediaries. How do they then,
not really, because sorry for interrupting. See, owners cannot shift because they are bound to remove within 36 hours once the user has flagged the content. The problem is who will flag? How do you detect whether it is a fake video or real video? Tomorrow, suppose if there is a real video of a politician accepting bribe and somebody uploads it, which is public information, which is like, a disclosure, and that person goes on report it as a deepfake. Do you think these platforms are going to take it down within 36 hours? So who is going to adjudicate whether a video is actually a deepfake video or a real video? So there are a lot of complications here. You need a comprehensive overhaul of the law. I think though remedies can be available within the existing law for disinformation and all, but they're not an absolute, recourse or an easy recourse for a person.
Of course.
And especially when they're not a celebrity.
Yeah. So you've been mentioning the laws, now according to a 2023 State of Deepfakes report from the United States-based Home Security Heroes, India is the sixth most vulnerable country. Now, as you've been mentioning, while India's laws for protection of copyrights can also be used against individuals who create deepfakes using copyrighted works, given the fact that the menace is spreading so quickly and so widely, many people feel that there is a growing need for a specific legislation to tackle this particular challenge. What is your opinion? I mean, China and South Korea already have specific regulations in place around deepfakes.
No, there cannot be an individual law to deal with a deepfake. There has to be a comprehensive overhaul of the IT laws. I mean, you have to regulate first the use of AI, the transfer of AI technology. There has been talk across the world by celebrities like Bill Gates, Elon Musk, and others, Mark Zuckerberg, that we need to regulate AI. It may end up doing more harm than serving the humanity if unregulated research is allowed. You have seen the emergence of ChatGPT. You have seen the use of ChatGPT to create viruses, conning people, scamming people. I mean, there are good use, obviously, but this technology is like a double-edged sword. It's like a mirror. It looks very beautiful, but once it is broken for a bad purpose, it is the most dangerous weapon in the hand of an individual. Second, the cost of acquisition of such technologies have gone down drastically. A deepfake technology which was available for $50,000 till 3 years ago is now available for $250 or $100. So, I mean, anybody without any technical knowledge can just buy a $100 tool and just upload some videos of anybody from Instagram or Facebook and create a deepfake video of them. So there are going to be challenges, and that is why it is very, very important that we need a comprehensive overhaul of IT laws where we regulate the use and research of AI. We create a recourse mechanism or grievance mechanism for any person who has been a victim of a deepfake porn video or revenge porn or any harassing video. There has to be a new law. There has to be very simplified and very clear rules, and there has to be accountability of these platforms.
Right. Now, the advisory by the government says that any failure to act as the relevant provisions of the IT Act and rules would attract Rule 7 of the IT Rules 2021. Can you elaborate a bit on this, what this particular rule is and how does it protect the targeted person?
See, under the new IT rules of 2020, under the Rule 7, if suppose platform does not remove a disinformation or a fake news or anything after it has been flagged to him within 36 hours, then the action can be taken against them. They can lose a safe harbor provision. Government can direct, blocking of such platforms and all. But see, again, the point is someone has to flag it to them. and then someone has to prove or adjudicate that this is actually a fake video. So in case of a celebrity can come up and say, in Rashmi Mandana's case, it is very easy to take it down because along with that deepfake video, there is an original video available of a person. But in most of the deepfake videos, you do not have an original video. There is always a new machine-generated video. There is nothing for you to compare with anyone. So whom do you file a case against? So that is the problem. So I think though platforms would flag it to them, they'll take it down within 36 hours. But it can also be weaponized by any guy who may call it a real video, also a fake one. I mean, we have already seen emergence of several deepfake videos in Russia-Ukraine war. We are seeing ample disinformation videos in Hamas and Israel conflict. So this menace is going to grow. Existing laws are available right now. They are a quick fix measure, but you need a comprehensive overhaul to deal with this problem in a holistic manner.
So what about the responsibility of the tech companies who are, constantly working on these AI, artificial intelligence, and we see that this ability of the machines, of computers is getting better by the day. So the responsibility to some extent also lies with the tech companies who are working on these technologies.
Yeah, of course they are responsible. I mean, they make billions of dollars out of India. They are bound to put some money into research, and they're also bound to make investments into this technology which can detect deepfakes. So their accountability is there. But to hold them accountable, you need a comprehensive law. So right now, they have accountability under IT rules to deal with such content. If they don't deal it, then the only provision of the power which is available to the government under the IT law is to block that platform. There are no graded punishments. The only option is to block the platform. There is no provision of a penalty. There is no provision of a temporary ban. There is no provision of anything regulatory penalty on them. So that is why under IT rules, the most of this 69A section under which these rules are made for the national security and sovereignty. But to deal with an everyday crime, you need a different law and you need a clear set of rules.
But if you talk in a wider context, I'm not talking about just laws which specific governments can form and then follow up on. I'm talking about the moral responsibility, the moral accountability also. The companies, the tech companies who are creating these technologies, aren't they morally bound to also then offer remedy? So that people who are getting affected.
Morally and legally also they are bound to offer solutions. I mean, it is ultimately their responsibility. But I'm saying if they do not discharge their responsibility, then what is the option you have to impose penalties or take action against them? There has to be some provision in the law. I mean, it is the responsibility of every citizen to follow the traffic rules. But suppose if there is a patriotic element in the society who does not follow the traffic rules and crosses red lights, there has to be a provision in the law to impose penalties on them, seize their license to stop dangerous driving for the safety of others. So likewise, these platforms are legally bound. They are morally bound to remove such content, take action against such content, create technology to stop such content, because ultimately it is their platforms which are used to spread such content. But if they do not discharge their responsibility, then we need a very stringent law to deal and act against these platforms and private companies.
For a layperson who is not very aware, tech savvy, and even if they were tech savvy, you're saying that it's almost impossible to identify these deep fakes given the technologies that are being used. So what are the do's and don'ts they can follow to keep themselves protected in such a scenario, a common person?
If you see a video which you think is unlikely event, don't blindly believe it. And if you are sure that a particular video is fake, then on all these platforms, there is an option in every post to report that video, flag that video. On Twitter also, on Facebook also, on Instagram also, to report such content. So if you spot such a fake, don't just let it pass, report it and flag it immediately.
What about I as a person, if I want to protect myself so that my photograph, my content that I am putting on social media is not being misused? How can I protect that?
So I think one of the things we could do is not to upload any eminent personal information on social media, but like in this age, we all use social media like Instagram and Facebook. Any platform on which you are regularly uploading your personal photos and videos, just block your profile so that only people who are known to you follow you. This remedy can be available to ordinary citizens, but not in case of politicians because they have to make the videos public.
Right.
And they are the most vulnerable one.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, Mr. Jain.
Thank you.
You were listening to a discussion on Government Advisory on Countering Social Media Misinformation and Deepfakes. The participants were Jiten Kumar Jain, Cyber Expert, and Anubha Rohatgi, Anchor. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of Akashvani. You can listen to it on our mobile app News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You may share your feedback about this program through email at airnsttalks@gmail.com or WhatsApp on 928 909 4044.